If you're hearing your children say they want to live their life and want to be left alone, well, perhaps they are in a way true. Many parents are kind of smothering their children with a lot of unwanted attention, which is not attention, it is more like domination. You want dominion over your child because you think in your imbecility or your primitivism that they need to be you. They don't need to be you, they need to be beyond you. And to be beyond you, to be better than you, they don't need to follow your footsteps because the footsteps that you followed have led to where you are. So you obviously don't want your child to go your way because they'll reach your age and most likely be at most what you are. So don't be an imbecile. And next time your child tells you they want to live their life, you can be wiser and tell them some of these words. See, life is nothing else but a flow of energy. It is more like a denaturation in a way, because when you are born, your life is slowly ticking away. Irrespective how many goals you have or how many goals you don't have, life simply ticks away. You have to tell your child that death indeed is something they have to be aware, not to become overcome by it and live in fear constantly that they will die and it doesn't matter what they do, they will die. That's a narcissistic way of viewing it. Your child, first of all, has to realize that death indeed is the only thing that's going to happen for sure in your life. Everything else can be astrology, can be, uh, you know, guessed, can be calculated more or less, but you never know if something is truly going to be 100%. Even if you can know and it does happen, those are some situations. But everything is probable in life except death. Death will happen to all of us because death is not something fantasy. It's not a character like we depict it in children's books, a skeleton with a black robe wearing a scythe that's gonna come and simply strip your soul out of your body. Death is basically a natural process. Narcissism and religion, well, religion is basically born out of narcissism and the will to dominate and rule everyone, well, that's basically what narcissism is all about, anyways. Well, these two have made a fear out of dying because death is the greatest fear of all narcissists. They imagine they are perfection, and when they die, that death, that event, creature, or whatever in their sick minds they believe it is, that will take their perfection away from them. So it's basically the greatest affront brought to them. So the point about death is once you realize, not know, realize that death is gonna happen, you're gonna live much better because you know it's gonna happen. You don't know when, but at least you can try to work towards making it happen much later. Because from the moment we're born, obviously, we have an expiry date. And our body is made to overpass all sorts of challenges, but we live in a sick society where we're bombarded constantly by chemicals and things that apparently seem to be aimed at, inhibiting us. But one can simply say one thing. Death will come. If people want to live their life, see, want is an impulse, right? It is a part of ignorance. It is something aggressive. You don't need to want to live life. Everything that you do basically is living life. Whether you choose to live in a very erogenous life, whether you choose to live in a very adventurous life and always be on the edge of danger, whether you want to live an artist's life, anything that you do, or whether you want to be a full-scale lazy bones, that is living life. You don't need to live life because when you want something, well, your goal will become more important than the goal itself. See, many people lose this, right? Lose themselves to this slavery of the mind, which is, people want 100,000 subscribers on their favorite platforms. But the problem is, the journey itself is forgotten. All they want is the subs, be it that they pay for them or they simply acquire them through the content that they create. But the problem is, the mind will always want more, right? So the point is, when you want to live life, you become a slave of this want. Every time you want something, the next step is just ahead. You're starting a journey, you don't have the patience because wanting means overpowering your patience, right? It is an impulse. When you live impulsively, your patience is simply, disabled. So the point is, you're starting a journey, you can't wait to finish it, and your mind, because it is restless now, you don't have any more patience, so you're not keeping your mind cooling down, it starts running amok, and you start imagining all sorts of things. You're already 6 adventures ahead, imagining what you will be doing with the seventh one. So when your child says they want to live life, remind them that whatever happens, whatever experience they go through, that is living life itself. Even if you choose to be depressed and give in to all your traumas and create all sorts of sorrow and unhappiness just because you're like literally, you know, you're feeling miserable in life, oh well, that is basically a point, right? If you choose to subjugate yourself to your own traumas, that is still living life. Life is ticking away from all of us. Say, if this video of mine is 10 minutes long, even if you like it or not, if you viewed only 2 minutes of it and abandon it, or you say you're gonna watch it later, you're still 2 minutes closer to your grave. And you chose to watch my video. You could have done anything else. And if you've done that for 2 minutes, at the end of those 2 minutes, you're still 2 minutes closer to your grave. So whatever you do in life, even if you choose to sleep and stay in bed the whole life, that is technically life ticking away. All your emotions are valid. Why do you think a sick society wants you to be ignorant? Because ignorance means being disconnected from your emotions. When you're disconnected from your emotions, there is only suffering, because you don't feel anything. And then when you don't feel anything, you become a mold. You become easily shaped by NGOs and all sorts of these manipulation techniques that society has been, dealing with and improving over time, right? Because when you want things, you're impatient. And your impatience is basically what kills your life. Because when you are impatient, you literally just want the results. You don't want the struggle. Everyone wants to be at the finish line and chatter there, but barely anyone wants to do the race. If you understand one thing in life, life simply ticks away. Death is the only thing that will happen. And, well, in life, never pray to have an easy life. It is a North quote that says, well, pray to have the strength to live a difficult life. Because a difficult life has all sorts of emotions. In life, you need all the emotions because that's how you become wiser. If you just live an easy life, everything will become hard. Because doing the easy things is what leaves the hard things. Imagine all the people who are simply, stuck in with their nose in their phones. And tell your child, do you think those people are happy? Yes, they are having pseudo perfect lives, but do you think those people are happy needing to constantly post a new picture? It's never perfect. They need to do 100 pictures so that they can choose one of those. And literally they waste hundreds of hours just sorting through pictures to post them and showcase their pseudo perfect life. Do you think that is life lived? How about going in nature and telling your child, look, these are some of the emotions you need to feel, like standing barefoot on the grass, right? Touch the grass. Many people are so disconnected, but that is how they choose to live life. If you don't choose to live your life, your ancestors will live your life through your impulses, through your karma, through everything that is repetitive in your life. The people around you will live your life. The people who manipulate you through television, right? Because it's called television, right? These people will live life for you. So every time your child tells that they want to live life, don't let them fall and slip into this trap. This is one of the greatest and most insidious traps of the mind. The moment you want something, you become slave of wanting. And that wanting, that objective, is more important than the path itself. If you have patience in your journey, remember that all journeys have an end, right? They all have an end day. That is why it is never important to simply rush. The more you rush, you will burn yourself out, you will burn your health out, and you will shorten your lifespan. And the point is, you'll feel even more enraged because you can't do your things. And enragement will also shorten your life, will also make you feel bad and incomplete and weak and such. So all this being said, hopefully this video was introspective enough. You are appreciated. Take care. Ferinjan Board signing out.